spend one night on one hadith with the proper understanding is better than taking what?
10.
Hey, wallah. Tayyip. Fadl Sharif.
Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if a housefly falls into the drink of any one of you, he should dip it in the liquid, for one of its wings has the disease.
When the fly does what? Read it again. When the fly does what?
When the housefly falls into the drink.
Falls. It's falling. It's moving. It's flickering, trying to get out. Then you do what? Whether it's dead instantly or whether it is flickering and trying to get out, then you do what? But it's not just a fly. Bzzz. How are you going to do that? The fly is lightning fast. Let alone for you to grab it, pinch it, and then put it. That's a lot. Everybody clear on this? That's not what's meant here. Everybody clear on this?
It seems easier to just throw the drink away.
Tayyip. This is very important. It says it seems easier to throw the drink away. It does seem easier, but you have two problems now, Abu Saeed. The first is that now you're wasting food, which is Islamically prohibited. Number two is we spoke about the ghusl and the water in the Arabian Peninsula. And these things were what? Scarce. A bucket or a pot of olive oil or ghee or even fresh water. It was not that easy to come past. It was not that what? Wasn't that easy to come past. It wasn't like today you go give me a ginger ale from the corner store.
Still to this day.
I want ice. No, give me a Welch's grape with ginger ale. Sparkling Welch's. It wasn't that simple. You had to go get the grapes, peel them, clean them, squeeze them, take out the seeds, go to the mountain and get snow to make it. It wasn't that simple. So when a fly fell into a big pot or cup or a vase or a vat, whatever, it was a big harm in just what? Tossing it out. Even if it was a plate of food. Life was what? Was harsh, as we explained before about the ghusl. And this is a very important concept, and understanding these hadiths is the context, the time and the place in which the Prophet ﷺ lived. Everybody understand this? And Islam is made for the what? The most basic situation. It's made for the what? The most basic situation. Just like the previous hadith about the locusts. Why don't you just eat chicken? There you go. Different times, different places. Everybody understand this? It's very important. So first and foremost, As-Sanani rahimahullah says, وَالْحَدِيثُ دَلِيلٌ ظَاهِرٌ عَلَى جَوَازِ قَتْلِهِ دَفْعًا لِضَرَرِهِ. The first benefit is this hadith clearly proves the permissibility of killing this fly to protect yourself from its harm. So this also shows us it's permissible. I'm saying it's permissible to do what? To kill any insect which is harmful or annoying. Harmful or what? Annoying. Everybody clear on this? It's permissible to kill the insect.
Flies are very annoying.
Without a doubt.
Harmful or annoying?
Harmful and or annoying. Everybody clear on this? An ant could cause you harm or cause you a great means of annoyance. Everybody understand this?
Well, bees.
Harmful or annoying. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to kill them or you should, but it's permissible if it's harming you or causing a great deal of annoyance to you. Everybody understand this? A lot of times bees won't even sting if you just let them relax. But you have a beehive in your closet. Or your bedroom. No, really, you may, it's happening. I had at one time a beehive in my, it was a wasp nest in my bedroom when I was living in Camden, New Jersey, in the front window, in the corner.
Yeah, they built in the house, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing.
So, I mean, you know, alhamdulillah, I didn't get stung. They didn't bother me. I let them be. But the concept is if somebody says, you know, I'm going to call the exterminator, you can't necessarily say that's haram. Everybody understand this? Even if it's a noble insect, such as the bee. Abu Sahih. Mentioned in the Quran. Everybody clear on this? That's number one. Number two is that the fly is not to be eaten. This hadith proves that flies are not to be what? Eaten in Islam. Because the Prophet said what? Moving on, he then says, وَأَنَّ الذُّبَابَ إِذَا مَاتَ فِي مَائِعٍ فَإِنَّهُ لَا يُنَجِّسُهُ. The third benefit is when a fly lands into some type of liquid, the liquid does not become najis. It does not become what? Najis. Very important ruling. You can make wudu off of the water, from the water that the fly what? Falls in. Everybody clear on this? He then says, لأنه صلى الله عليه وسلم أمر بغمسه ومعلوم أنه يموت من ذلك ولا سيما إذا كان طعامه حارا فلو كان ينجسه لكان أمرا بإفساد الطعام وهو صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما أمر بإصلاحه. ثم عد هذا الحكم إلى كل ما لا نفس له سائلة كالنحلة والزنبور والعنكبوت وأشباه ذلك، إذ الحكم يعم بعموم علته وينتفي بانتفاء سببه. فلما كان سبب التنجيس هو الدم المحتقن في الحيوان بموته وكان ذلك مفقودا فيما لا دم له سائل انتفى الحكم بالتنجيس لانتفاء علته. He says, moving on, he says this ruling pertains to any insect that does not have flowing blood. That doesn't have what? Flowing blood, such as a bee.
That's his.
طيب.
I'm sorry.
It's full جدا. تفضل. It's
Yeah, I need it.
empty what? Empty the cup. As-Sanani rahimahullah ta'ala, he says that is because when you do that, the fly is going to die for sure, especially if the food is what? Hot. It's hot. He says here, and if the fly fall into the food or the drink, if it made it najis, then the Prophet ﷺ would have commanded you to, what? He says then that's wasting food and destroying food. And the Prophet ﷺ only was commanded to what? To bring the people to ease. Not to ease, but that's like he says, islahi, to make the people deal with the food properly and to benefit from it properly. He then says, and this ruling, Nafis, also pertains to anything that does not have flowing blood, such as a bee, or such as a wasp or something like this, a stinging, وهكذا. Everybody clear on this? He then says a spider as well. A spider as well. Killing a spider. He says here, or a spider fall into your food, I've read that the human being, it says in his lifespan, eats an average of 8 spiders. That's the statistic. Allahu Alam, if that's true, that's what they say. Only Allah knows. Spiders bite people. I've seen people, have bite marks from spiders. Perhaps I've been bit by a spider not too long ago.
Spider-Man.
Allahumma musta'an. But eating 8 of them, only Allah knows. You don't know what you do in your sleep. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Moving on. He then says, and that's because the reason why things are haram or become najis when they die is because of the blood that what? Anyway, the blood that's packed up, that's inside. And this insect has no what? No blood. So the ruling is there or not there. It's the same. He then says, والأمر بغمسه ليخرج الشفاء منه كما خرج الداء منه وقد علم أن في الذباب قوة سمية كما يدل عليه الورم والحكة الحاصلة من لسعه وبمنزلة السلاح فإذا وقع فيما يؤذيه اتقاه بسلاحه كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم فإنه يتقي بجناح الذي فيه الداء فأمر صلى الله عليه وسلم أن تقابل تلك السمية بما أودع الله سبحانه وتعالى فيه من الشفاء في جناحه الآخر بغمسه كله فتقابل المادة السمية المادة النافعة فيزول ضررها. وقد ذكر غير واحد من الأطباء أن لسعة العقرب والزنبور إن دلك موضعها بالذباب نفع منه نفعا بينا ويسكنها وما ذلك إلا للمادة التي فيه من الشفاء. As-Sanani rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, and when the Prophet ﷺ commanded you, listen carefully, to put the fly all the way in order for the shifa, the cure and the remedy, to leave as the poison left of the other wing. And it is well known that flies have some type of venomous element. What's the difference between poisonous and venomous? Abdul Hakim.
Venomous, poisonous.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
You see a frog, a green frog or yellow frog in the Amazon. You say, don't go near that. That frog is what? Poisonous. Is that correct? Shamil? What's the difference?
They have a natural thing to poison.
Khalid.
What is outside? What is inside?
Outside and inside. I don't understand what that means. Abu Saeed. Venoms, huh?
That's it.
He's Saeed, so that one.
Because they actually have venom.
What does that mean? It's very important. It's very well. تفضل يا أخي. Venomous, poisonous. Different, same. تفضل.
One can kill you.
The animal that if it bites you or harms you severely, that is the venomous animal or insect or creature. It has venom. And poisonous is
Anything that make
if you bite it and consume it, ingest it, then you will become harmed severely, if not dead. So it's opposite. I said in and out. That's a simple way. Righty, tighty, lefty.
Right.
Lucy. These things are, hey, even in Arabic, you have these different ways and sayings of memorizing things properly. And you'll never ever forget which way to turn the screw when you say it like that. Everybody clear on this? So venomous is the thing that does what? Bites you and you're harmed. Poisonous is if you eat poisonous mushrooms. A venomous toad or frog. There you go, caterpillar, etc. Everybody understand this? Most people, they say poisonous. They say snakes are poisonous, poisonous snakes. Sahih? You may see that in the zoo. Right, let's move on. He then says it's well known that flies have some type of venom. And that is from the scratching that a person is afflicted with, or any type of rash or breaking out that you get when certain flies bite you. Everybody understand this? And he says, and this is like what? It's like a weapon. He says it's like the silah. It's like the weapon of the fly. Everybody understand this? So therefore, yani, something that's trying to harm the fly does what? Everybody clear on this? He then says, so the believer, the drinker, the eater is to do what? إِنَّهُ يَتَّقِيهِ كَالتُّرْسَةِ. He protects himself from the venom with a shield. Not the fly, but the what? The drinker. The drinker protects himself with the what? With the other wing. As if it's a shield against the first wing's sword or spear. Make sense now? So we say that's a horrible translation. And it totally changes the meaning of the hadith. They need to fear Allah. Everybody clear on this? Everybody understand this? We understand the hadith properly now?
Inshallah.
Right, moving on. He then says, so therefore one wing combats the what? Hot and cold, bitter and type, and then other things that you can say, which is 50-50, which goes back and forth, which you're not going to say. Everybody understand this? He then says, and it's well known, as many physicians has mentioned in his era, he says that when a person is bit by a scorpion or bit by a wasp or some type of insect, he says what? Then if you take a fly and you put it on the wound where a person has been stung, then it clearly helps the person out. And it says in it what? It removes the pain. It says yusakinuha. And the only reason behind this is because Allah is placed in its other wing of what? Cure. Of cure. Everybody understand this? And there's many other people who have spoken on this hadith in detail. People who have detailed knowledge of medicine, of chemistry, of biology, and things like this. Everybody clear on this? You want to go overseas, you want to go study, what are you going to do if a scorpion comes into your house while you're reading? Your wife is in the other room, and a scorpion runs past your wife. She's scared to death now. She says, I'm leaving. I don't want to stay here anymore. I'm going back to America. What are you going to do? I saw a scorpion before in Medina. Speak. When I was in Yemen, alhamdulillah, I didn't get stung by a scorpion, but I heard all types of stories of people. One sister got stung by a scorpion. There's no medicine, no this. Said that the older lady had to suck the poison out of her. Literally. These are all realities of seeking knowledge. What are you willing to sacrifice? You want the ilm, you want the benefit. What are you willing to do what? Sacrifice for ilm. Everybody understand this? And we don't want to scare anybody else with any other horror stories of seeking knowledge. But it's real. It's what? It's real. It's only built for certain type of people. Everybody understand this? Let's move on. Barakallahu fik Abu Sa'id. He then says, so therefore, is this like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gives you something based off of the harm that's found in that fly. And that's the end of that hadith. Let's move on. Hadith number 13. The author, rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, and this is the last hadith in the chapter, وعن أبي واقد الليثي رضي الله عنه قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما قطع من البهيمة وهي حية فهو ميت أخرجه أبو داود الترمذي وحسنه واللفظ له. Let's read the translation before we move on.
Now Abu Waqid
الليثي
رضي الله تعالى عنه Allah's Messenger ﷺ said, whatever portion is cut off from an animal while it is alive is dead meat. Reported by Abu Dawood and At-Tirmidhi, who graded Hasan, good.
طيب.
And this wording is At-Tirmidhi's.
تفضل شريف.
Narrated Abu Waqid al-Laythi radiallahu anhu, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whatever is cut off from a live animal is considered dead.
طيب. تفضل أبو سعيد. طيب خير إن شاء الله. The hadith tells us Abu Waqid radiallahu anhu, he states that the Messenger of Allah said, ما قطع من البهيمة, anything that's cut off of a living animal, then that part of the animal is considered the what? Mayyit. In other words, the animal is not properly slaughtered, nor is it properly hunted. But for some reason the animal is going to zoom by, or it's a wild animal, we're hunting, we're starving, or any case, I have a blade and he swings the blade and he takes off the animal's leg. Or he slices off a piece of the animal's shoulder. The animal gets to run away and escape you. That piece of shoulder, that meat of shoulder is not the biha. It's not lawful, it's not permissible to be eaten, but it's considered to be what? Dead. Mayta. Mayta. Everybody understand this? It is unlawful to be what? To be eaten. This hadith is similar to the previous two hadiths, something that pertains to foods, slaughtering animals, but is also pertaining to tahara and things like this. Because when something is mayyit, then in most cases it's going to be najis. Everybody understand it's going to be what? Najis. Everybody clear on this? Everybody clear on this? Right. Let's try to finish this before we move on so we can finish the chapter. Bidnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-Sanani rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, what do we benefit from this hadith?
There's a way that you have to slaughter the animal.
We've run out of time. We'll mention this hopefully with the next next class. This is the last hadith of the first chapter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Any questions, we'll try to take them and Masjid Ansar. Bidnillah.
Stay.